With RaeNotes assessment feature, users now have the flexibility with how a review is conducted. In this tutorial, I'll demonstrate the 3 assessment types available and explain the differences between them. To begin, we click the assessment icon in the upper right-hand corner once you're inside the recording. First, select the competency model. You have 3 options for the assessment type. The first one is the student review. With this option, a student can give other users such as a mentor coach or a peer the ability to conduct an assessment in an open manner where all users can create comments, view comments, and modify each other's comments where appropriate. A great use case for this would be where mentor coaches require the student to complete a self-assessment that the coach can then view and modify as needed. So once the assessment type is selected, you will go ahead and note whether or not you will be one of the assessors or assign the assessor. Tatiana, in this case, is the mentor coach, so we will put her email address in and mark her either as an optional, required, or watcher. So we'll make her a required assessor and send the notification. The first thing I'll do is I will go ahead and mark up this file as a student doing a self-assessment. Now, assuming that I am completed with my assessment, I can go ahead and hit submit. And then we'll go ahead and log into Tatiana's view. Within Tatiana's view, you'll notice that when she clicks the assessment drop-down button, now Andrew's view is available. All comments and markup made by Andrew can be toggled on and off. If there were other users that were listed, they would also be listed here. Tatiana can then go ahead, make her additional markups. Within the student review mode, Tatiana also has the ability to delete or edit comments. So let's say the feedback provided is not accurate, she can go ahead and update that. Once Tatiana is finished, she can hit submit. And the assessment, once completed by all required reviewers, is done. Just like with the student review type, the user can assign reviewers to assess the recording using the independent review type. The difference with the independent review type is that users will not be able to see comments made by other users until all required reviewers have completed their assessment. Once the assessment is completed, users also have access to the open assessment view, which I will show. Just like with the student review, you select the competency model. We'll select independent review. We'll make the recording owner, the student, in this case, Andrew, an assessor. And again, we will add Tatiana as the mentor coach and mark her as a required reviewer and send. As a student, I will go ahead and do my assessment first. And in this case, I am not going to submit just yet. I will log into Tatiana's screen, and you'll notice that in the assessment dropdown, Andrew does not show up in the dropdown option as a toggle to see his comments. Tatiana will then go ahead, complete her markup as well. And we'll do one more. And then we'll hit submit. In this case, Tatiana has completed her assessment. We are still waiting for Andrew to complete his in order for his toggle to show up and for users to see each other's comments. If we go back to the library, you'll notice that in the assessment file, you can see the review status as in progress, and you can see the number of required assessors. Going back to Andrew's, we'll go ahead and hit submit. Now that all required assessors have completed, you can see Tatiana's comments as well, and you can toggle them on and off. Additionally, you have the open assessment view, which, as I mentioned, will show a matrix of all comments made by reviewers, and users have the ability to add additional notes for each other to see. Note that with the independent review, users will at no point be able to edit other users' comments like they can with the student review type option. A good use case for this is when a student needs a formal assessment done, and the assessors should not be influenced by others' comments prior to completing their own review. The last assessment type is multi-party review. Like with the other two options, users can be assigned to review the assessment. Users will be able to make comments while having access to view other users' comments at any point throughout the review process. They will not, however, be able to modify or delete other users' comments like they could in the student review type. So here we'll simply select multi-party review. Again, we'll add Tatiana as the mentor coach. We'll make her a required reviewer and send it. So I will go ahead and mark this up as the student. And then I'll switch over to Tatiana's view. And you'll notice that in this case, even without submitting and having the required reviewers complete their assessment, Tatiana can see Andrew's comments, but she is not able to edit or change. She can, however, add comments. The open assessment view can also be accessed with the multi-party review. And this can be provided even without the need for required assessors to complete the review.